days are getting shorter, the weather's cooling off, and that can only mean one thing. The change of seasons is here. It's time to get ready for fall. I personally love fall. It's my favorite season here in Maine. The leaves change color. We have people that come from all over the world to see our beautiful foliage, and I really get excited about this time of year. In the back of my mind, I also am thinking about some of the dangers that come with this time of year. So today I wanted to share with you 8 dangers of fall for your pets, kind of things just to keep your eye on, have in the back of your mind as well, to keep our pets safe during this change in the season. So my first point to make is rodent poisons. There are a lot of toxins and poisons that are put out to keep pests away this time of year. Mice, rats, different pests start coming into your home. I know here in Maine we get a lot of house flies coming in as it starts to get colder outside. All of those pests are coming, trying to come inside and stay warm at night and during the upcoming winter months. So be sure that you're really diligent about that. There are other ways to get rid of pests than using rodenticides, and I would highly recommend looking into some of the other ways. Traps are effective, but a lot of people don't like to use those. Another thing that can be really effective is the little plugins that you can buy that put out a sound that only the rodents can hear, and it keeps them away. I know some people that have had good luck with that. I've done some reviews on some natural rodenticides that aren't poisonous and toxic to dogs. They're made with essential oils that pests don't like, so check that out if you're interested in some natural things. There are also some great DIY tips online if you're looking for natural sprays and things that you can make to try to keep rodents out of your home while being safe for your pets. The second thing is fall decorations. A lot of people don't think about decorations as being something that can be harmful to our pets. Vets see a high number of cases every year of pets that ingest string lights. Cats love to chew on the strings of string lights, and they can get electrocuted. Dogs can swallow string lights. So be really careful with any cords or lights that you might have that are in your pet's reach. Toxic plants, chrysanthemums and lilies are pretty common this time of year, and those are both toxic to pets. You can check out a list of plants that are toxic to pets. Do a little bit of research before you bring in any new house plants or plant anything new around your yard that your pet might be able to access. Just make sure that you're not buying plants that are dangerous to your dogs. And one thing that a lot of people don't think about is some of our fall decorations like hay, pumpkins, gourds, corn stalks, after a while of being outside as decorations, they start to mold. That doesn't sound very good to you, but that can actually be kind of appetizing to our pets. They might smell the mold and try to eat those things or lick the mold off of like corn stalks and hay bales. So be really careful about that as well. Keep an eye on some of your natural fall decorations, and if they start to mold, make sure you get rid of them. Wild animals also become more of a danger this time of year. If you live in a rural area like I do, there are some dangers. Here in Maine, one of our big dangers is bears. Bears are getting ready to hibernate, and a lot of other animals are too. So they're looking for food. They're, trying to get prepared for winter, and they might be coming into people's yards. So pick things up like bird feeders, trash. Make sure it's secure in a place that your pet can't access it and also wildlife can't access it. Snakes this time of year, they're getting ready to hibernate. They can be more active. Snake bites can be deadly to dogs. So be really vigilant about that, about keeping your yard picked up and kind of monitoring your yard and what's in it, and maybe going outside with your dog if you live in an area where that kind of stuff is dangerous. For example, with bears in the state of Maine, during the day we don't have a lot of issues, but once it starts to get dusk and nighttime, we don't let our dogs go outside by themselves or our cats because that is a worry here. So, just understanding the area that you're in, the environment that you're in, and what you can do to be vigilant against the wildlife that might be harmful to your pets. 4 is allergies. A lot of pets are affected by seasonal allergies the same way that humans are. If you feel like your pet is having struggles with allergies, again, I've shared some tips on home remedies that you can use. A lot of things like apple cider vinegar, coconut oil. There's tons of things that probably are in your house already that you can use to help your pet. But also, if your pet seems to have a severe case or a really bad issue with allergies, consult your veterinarian, get some help, get some relief for your pup. And and it's best if you can consult your veterinarian now. If you can nip things in the bud before, your dog's uncomfortable, they're itchy, their skin's drying out, they might have watery eyes or a little cold like humans do. So make sure that you stay ahead of that so that you can curb off any uncomfortableness or bad feelings for your pet. Daylight decreases in the fall. So this is the fifth thing that I want pet owners to just keep in mind and be wary of. Daylight decreases, so don't let your pets out alone after dark. That's a big thing any time of year. Obviously this time of year, I live in Maine. We are coming up really soon on daylight savings time, and it's going to start getting dark at 5 or 6 o'clock at night. It's kind of a bummer for humans. It's a huge bummer for pets because that means it cuts down their outside time during the day and their play time, because you don't do a lot of really outdoor play after dark. So don't let them out alone after dark. Make sure you're chaperoning just to make sure that they're not running off, and there's no after dark dangers out there for your pet. And also use reflective gear. If you can get a reflective collar, reflective leash, especially if you're going to be walking your dog at dusk or after dark, you want to make sure that you're being seen and your pet's being seen. So take the proper precautions when you know that daylight's going to be decreasing. Number 6 is the change in routine. Kids go back to school, adults get back onto a more regular schedule. That kind of summertime fun and taking some time off of work and really enjoy those summer months, that kind of comes to a halt, and most people go back to their quote unquote regular routine once summer's over. So that can be hard on your dog. You might be around less. I know for our dogs, they get really used to having our kids home all summer long. And then when they go back to school, that's a really tough adjustment on our dogs. So make sure that your dog's still getting enough exercise, mental stimulation, switch out some toys, maybe buy some interactive toys, some chews that your dog can occupy himself with when you're not there. And just make sure that you're taking that extra time to get him the exercise that he needs. So maybe that means taking a walk before you go to work or before the kids go to school, making sure, people are taking walks with your pet in the afternoon when everybody gets home, and you're still having those play times. Maybe, you don't have the time every day like you did in the summer when your whole family is kind of on a different schedule and there's people around most of the time. But now that everybody's back on a schedule, take that time out. Make sure you're getting, the play time. Maybe on a day that you do have time, you're still taking your pet on some adventures just to, keep him occupied and burn that excess energy to keep him stimulated. It's going to make him happier and healthier. Number 7, a lot of people don't think about the increase in traffic in the fall. Higher daily traffic, you're going in and out more frequently. If you're back to work on a regular schedule, kids are going in and out, they're getting on the bus, off the bus. So, higher traffic in that sense, but also fall brings with it a lot of holidays. The holidays have started, we've started seeing Halloween stuff in stores already, and, Halloween and Thanksgiving, and then there's, we jump into winter and there's Christmas and New Year's and all of that. But this is kind of the beginning of that high traffic area when we start having more house guests, more parties, things like that in our homes. So with the higher daily traffic increases the risk of runaway pets. So make sure that your dog is microchipped if possible. If not, make sure he has, and even if he is microchipped, ID on his collar is really, really important to ensure that your pet can be returned as soon as possible. And just be sure that you and your whole family are keeping a better eye on your pet. No pets are slipping out. This can be really important with indoor cats. A lot of times cats and small dogs can be really sneaky, and you just open the door crack and they shoot right out. So just have a little chat with your family and make sure that everybody's kind of on alert that your pets aren't going to be able to escape during these high traffic times. And along with that, to touch on holidays, my number 8 topic is holidays. With the holiday approaching, it's really important to make a pet plan. So for example, Halloween's right around the corner, and that brings trick-or-treaters. You might be out and about in your neighborhood and your dog's left alone. If your dog's going to be left alone, there might be somebody ringing your doorbell, somebody knocking on your door. There's going to be a lot of foot traffic out on the street in front of your house. So make sure that, especially if you have a dog with stress or anxiety issues, that you have a plan in place for that. If you're staying home and you're handing out candy for trick-or-treaters, that can be really overstimulating for pets. So maybe get your pet a chew or something that will occupy him for a good couple of hours during that kind of peak trick-or-treating time. You can have a safe place for your pet. Maybe he has a crate, maybe there's a room in your home that you can put your pet in, to give him a safe space so that he's not getting stressed or anxious or overstimulated by all of the goings on. And again, if you're going to be out of the house, make sure that you have a plan in place so that your dog is going to be comfortable while you're away and not getting stressed and scared because of all the goings on that are happening. And like I said, holidays, one leads right into the other. So after Halloween, it becomes Thanksgiving. You might have a lot of traffic in your house, a lot of people coming over, a bunch of food around. Halloween brings all kinds of treats. So, that should be in your pet plan, is to keep those food and treats out of reach of your pet, and to make sure, that you have a plan for your pet during those high traffic times. So just kind of sit down and brainstorm, in advance, what are you going to do to keep your pet safe and happy, and, make sure everybody in your house is on the same page so that you're not struggling to figure something out at the last minute when, everybody's showing up at your house or you're getting ready to go out for the night.